Welcome back to another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this two-piece drawstring BUBU kaftan you are seeing right here with short. I made my short a little bit longer, and this is a drawstring. As you can see, this is the jacket or the BUBU kaftan, so to speak. It has two side pockets. I made use of 3.5 yards of Ankara fabric. Ankara fabric is 3.5 yards. That is what I use for the two-piece. I open it up right now. This is the 45 inches length, and this is 3.5 yards of Ankara fabric. So here you are going to fold towards the yardage part, and you are going to fold your actual length of the kaftan. So I just want the kaftan to just be at the knee line. So I folded 41 inches. So I want to take the measurement of what I folded. I have 41 inches. So if you want it to be a little bit higher, you can do 38 or 37 inches. But I think 41 is just fine. So here I take the measurement, and that is 41 inches. Next, I'm going to cut out the excess. So I'm going to keep the excess for my shorts. So after cutting out, I keep this one for my short. Then I'll work with this other one for the upper part. So the next thing we are going to do is to fold it again another time. So we are going to fold it into two once again, and then we'll begin to draft the kaftan. Neck width is 3 inches. Neck depth is 1 inch for the back. So you go ahead and connect your neckline for the back. We are also drafting the neckline for the front here. So I will measure 9 inches downwards. Then I go in by 2 inches. You mark 2 inches inwards. Connect 3 inches to the 2 inches. Then we'll begin to mark 2 inches like that. Just keep marking it all the way down. And we are going to rule a straight line to connect up to the hemline. After connecting up to the hemline, this is what we got right here. So on the folded edge, which is going to be the sleeve part, you mark your shoulder, divide by 2, then mark your sleeve length. So the sleeve length I'm using here, I just want to use 13 inches. You can do 14 inches, so depends on your sleeve length. So you mark a straight line for the sleeve opening. I'm using 12 inches for my sleeve opening. Then I'll go in a little from that line. Then on this line, you are going to measure your hip circumference, divide by 4. Add 5 inches to it. That will serve as ease and seam allowance. Then take all the measurement there and place it on the hemline. Then we are going to connect a straight line to meet that line. And don't forget to curve in the kimono of that sleeve. Next, we are going to cut out the kaftan. So we'll just go ahead and cut the side of the kaftan, and we'll go ahead and cut this way. Then we cut out the sleeve part. Next, we are going to cut only the back neckline, So I cut it out, and then we are going to open up the fabric, so we'll be able to cut front neckline. So we are going to cut the front neckline right now. So make sure you arrange this part very well for accuracy. So I'll just go ahead and follow the front line, and I'll cut all the way down. Once you are done cutting, then we are going to take the measurement from the center back. That will be the strip measurement. So whatever measurement you have right here, you are going to multiply by 2. So I got 45 inches there. Multiply by 2 will give me 90 inches. So I made a notch at the center back. So if you open up this dress now, this is how it's going to look like. I just want to show you how it will look like before we prepare the strip or the collar. So here I brought back that remaining fabric, and I'm going to fold it into 2. I want to cut out the collar. Remember, the length on one side was 45 inches. So I'm going to, Ankara comes at 45 inches length. So what I'll just do here is to adjust it to the width of the collar, which is 6 inches. So I measure 6 inches and I'm going to cut it out. You can see me cutting it out right now. So I'm going to also separate it on the folded edge. This is just to have two collars for right and left. So what I'm going to do now is to put this collar right side to right side, and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch just to join the collar. After I'm done stitching, I'll go ahead to hairstay. Where I've hairstayed it, you can see the joining, so I'll just put it together. That joining of that collar will be the center back area. So I'll just go ahead and iron this very nicely. Just give it a good press, as you can see right here, very nicely. After that is done, we are going to attach it to the dress. Note that that center part will be the center back. So I'll pick up the dress right now and I'm going to place it right side to right side. I'll go over to the machine now and we are going to stitch from the center back area all the way down. After joining, you can see what we have. So what I'm going to do is just to trim it off, okay? Just trim it off like this, and also do the same the other way. So make sure they are just equal at that hemline. And that is that. Next, we are going to hem the down parts. Because we have a drawstring, make sure you hem all the down parts, front and back. I'm going to hem them right now. After hemming, this is what we have. So the next, we are going to also hem the sleeve. So I'll go ahead to fold in my sleeve and run a stitch on it like this. After running the stitches, we are going to close up. So you place it right side to right side and we are going to stitch 1 inch from the sleeve all the way down. Make sure you maintain the 1 inch. That will serve as a drawstring. Now I'm done stitching. I also stitched the other part. So you just make notches on the armhole. I like to make notches to ease that part. Next, we want to take the measurement of the drawstring. So you are going to take 15 inches. I'm going to mark 15 inches. That is the length of my drawstring. So I'm going to put a little cut on that 15 inches. So it depends on how you want it to draw. So 15 inches is okay. You can make it 12 too. So I made a little cut like that. And then I'm going to show you how to finish up the drawstring. So next, you just open up the seams, okay? From that notch part, just open up your seams. We are going to fold in 1/2 inch inwards. And then we will iron it out. That will be the part at which the drawstring is going to hide. I will keep ironing it all the way down. After ironing, we'll now take the fabric to the machine to sew the drawstring. But meanwhile, we need to create our rope. We already cut out pieces of fabric of width 1.5 and length 25. What you need to do is just fold in 1/2 inch on both sides, put them together and stitch on it. I am done stitching right now. You can see my ropes are ready. So next we will start inserting it to the dress. You just lift that drawstring part like this and insert it inside. We'll just top stitch the up. So let's go to the machine so we can demonstrate this. The machine, this is the dress, and I want to show you how to insert the drawstring. So I'll just get my drawstring from that point I notched and I folded. I'll go ahead to place the first one below. I'll also place the second one below. So you place them together and make sure the rope comes out a little bit at that edge. First you are going to do is to top stitch on it just to hold it very firmly. After that is done, you turn your presser foot and then we'll insert the rope. So when you are stitching, please don't stitch on the rope. If you stitch on the rope, you'll not be able to draw the string. So just keep sewing like that until you get to the end. After I'm done, I'll go over to the other side. I'll start from the beginning to stitch again. I'm going to stitch from that point like that all the way down as well. So this is how I'm going to also stitch for the other part. So whatever I do on one side, I'll also do it on the other side. Here I am done stitching and that is that. So the next we are going to do is to test strong what we have stitched. So here I can see I did not stitch on the rope, so you can now tie your bow, and that is how to go about this, the upper part. So we are going to jump into the down part, which is the knicker right now. This is what the drawstring BUBU kaftan looks like, which will serve as a jacket for this dress. So let's cut the knicker. For the knicker, you are going to fold your fabric using your hip circumference divided by 4. Then you add 4 more inches to it. So that is what I'm trying to make sure I have my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 4 inches. That is how I folded it. The first thing you are going to do after fold is to create a border line or a starting line. It can be 1 inch starting line. Starting line, you are going to place 2 inches for the band. Then you take your waist to your hip, waist to your crouch. I use my hip circumference divided by 4. Then I added 1.5 inches to the crouch line. Next, you are going to take the full length of this knicker. So I used 20 inches as my full length, and I added 1.5 inches, which is 21 inches for folding the hem of my knicker. So I will just go ahead and rule the lines across. Next, you come over to the hip line and mark your hip circumference divided by 4. Add 1 inch for your stitching allowance. Then you also mark the same thing on the crouch, mark the same on the waistline. Then you are going to connect all the lines from the crouch to the waistline. So for the crouch extension, you are going to use your hip circumference divided by 4. The result, you divide it by 4 again. So I marked 3 inches at that point, and I came out diagonally by 1.5 inches just to connect the curve like this. Next, on the crouch line, you are going to place your tape on the crouch line to the crouch extension and get the midpoint. So whatever I have to the midpoint, I'll place it on the hem of this knicker, then connect with a straight line. So this is the midpoint of this knicker. We want to take the tie line. So your round tie, you divide it by 2. Then the result, you also divide it by 2 again. So my round tie is 24. I divided it by 2, I got 12. I divided it by 2 again, I got 6. So I just place 6 at the center and mark 6 and 6 on both sides. Then you go ahead and connect the 6 inches to the hip line like this. Then we also connect the 6 inches on the other side to the crouch line like this. Then after that is done, we'll measure your waist. Take your waist measurement, divide by 4 plus 1 inch. I'm going to connect from the hip to the waist like this. So that is that for the front knicker. Then I'm going to come down by 1/2 inch for the tummy drop, 1/2 inch, then connect it to the waistline like this. That is the tummy drop. Right now we are done, and we are going to cut out the front piece. So I'll go ahead to cut right now, and I want you to watch to see the parts I'm cutting. I'll just follow the chalk lines that has the shape of this knicker, and I'm going to cut it out accordingly. I go through the tummy drop, and I'm going to cut the side of the knicker. So we are going to use this front piece right now to cut the back piece. So I'll fold my fabric once again. For the back piece, you are going to fold your fabric using your hip circumference divided by 4 plus 7 inches, because the back crouch line is usually longer than the front. Make sure you bring down the front trouser with 2 inches. Then we'll begin to mark out the extension from the hip, the crouch, and the full length. Then you are going to mark a straight line at the center front. On that straight line, you will mark 1.5 inches. You connect it to the waistline. The hip extension, you mark 2 inches. If you're on a bigger size, you mark 2.5 inches. Then on the crotch for the back, I mark 3 inches because that is what I got at the front. Then I mark 2 inches on the side of the knicker like that. So I'm going to connect from the 2 inches I marked to the crouch of 3 inches for the back. We are going to blend this line into the waistline like this. Just blend it like that. For the side of the trouser, we are not adding anything to it. We'll cut it alongside with the front side trouser. The next we want to do is to add zip allowance. So at the center back there, I'll take off 2 inches and mark 9 inches. Then my zip allowance is 1 inch. So make sure you take off the band of 2 inches because we are going to sew our zip together with the band. So here is the zip allowance. Now we are going to cut out the lines for the back. Go ahead to cut. So here are the lines for the back, and that is what I'm cutting. So you just go ahead and cut like this, then cut all the way down like that and like this. So we are done with the cutting. Next, we want to separate the front and back piece, so we'll be able to sew the pockets. For the pocket on the front side, we are going to measure the pocket space. So the length of the pocket measures 7 inches is standard. You can make it 6.5, and 1.5 inches is the width. So you just go ahead and connect 7 to 1.5. That is the pocket. And we are going to cut it off. After that is done, we are going to cut out a square fabric. This square fabric measures 8.5 inches on the width and 10 inches on the length, and I have 4 pieces of them. 8.5 inches on the width and 10 inches on the length. Now you are going to make the wrong sides. I separated them two. They are 4, but you use 2 for 1, so make sure you get the wrong side. So we will place the side of the pocket on top of it like this. So after placing it this way, make sure it's well arranged. Then you go ahead and cut out any excess that you have around it. So you can see the pocket has the shape of the trouser right now, of the knicker. So you just place them right side to right side. Right side of the knicker to right side of the pocket. And we are going to stitch 1/2 inch and top stitch. So here I'm done stitching, so I'll just go ahead and notch. So you place your notches first too, just to ease that part. Then you flip all your seams to the pocket and top stitch, so it relaxes nice and flat. You can also give it a good press. So I'll do the same for the both pockets. Here you can see the pockets is ready. So we are going to bring the other part of this pocket. This time around, you place it right side to right side also. Make sure you align it very well. Align it to have that square edge. Then we are going to secure with our pins. Lift it up like this. Secure with your pins accordingly. Okay. Then you take it to the machine and stitch at 1/2 inch. After stitching, this is what I got for both of them. Then I'm going to turn it to the right side. I'm going to stitch down the upper part and the side so it stays with the pocket. So if you have any excess, just feel free to cut it off. I will stitch and stitch the both. So here you can see the pockets for both of them. So the 2 of them are ready. So you place them right side to right side right now. We want to take the measurement of the waist circumference, okay? Divide by 4. So you place your tape at the center front, measure your waist, divide by 4, plus 1 inch for seam allowance. So I added 1 inch, then I blended it back to the hip. I believe you understand. So I'll just go ahead and do what? Cut that excess off. And that is that. The front piece is ready. Now we are going to, if you measure, you have 1.5 inches. Okay, you have 2 inches including seam allowance, which was what we cut off for the pocket initially. So you put the center front together and stitch. After stitching, this is what I got. So the front piece is totally ready. So we'll go over to the back piece right now to stitch. Here on the back piece, I'm going to stitch down 1/2 inch alone and leave the zipper part open. So we have sewn the front and the back. So we are going to put their sides together. So you put the front right side to the back. Next, you are going to sew the size of this pant with 1/2 inch. After sewing the sides, then we are going to grab the crouch line. But before sewing the crouch line, don't forget to hem the down part. So this is the time for us to hem this part. So you just fold in 1/2 inch and then 1 inch, which is the 1.5 we added. Then I'm going to stitch on top of it. So it's time for us to put the crouch line together. So you open up the seams of the crouch like this, secure it with pin, and then stitch 1/2 inch. After stitching, this is what we got for our knicker. So the next thing I want to do is to sew the band. So to sew the band, just go ahead and measure around your waistline. Whatever measurement you have, that is what you use for the band. Taking the length of my band, and the width of my band is 5 inches. I folded in 1/2 inch too on one side. So we are going to place this band. It's going to be placed on the right side of the band to the wrong side of the knicker, and we'll stitch 1/2 inch and top stitch with the upper piece. So this is what I got after I'm done sewing my band. Next, we are going to sew the zip at the back. So you turn over to the back and we are going to sew in 1 inch all the way down.